Hello, welcome. Thank you for joining us on this edition of News 2. I'm Sandra Guman-Singh. Topping our newscast, hospital officials from the Schneider Regional Medical Center testified before senators Tuesday to provide an update on the hospital's standing. The testifiers told lawmakers they'll be reaccredited for another 3 years, but there's still work to do. News 2's Erica Parsons has more.
Senators praised Schneider Hospital officials after news of their reaccreditation with the Joint Commission.
We did extremely well, extremely well. They've even told us that we have no issues with being reaccredited for the next 3 years.
I was very happy today to hear the good news that they had received a positive visit from the Joint Hospital Accrediting Committee. So I think that's very good news for the Virgin Islands.
The Schneider Regional Medical Center is still operating at a loss, but officials say the financial picture is improving. In fiscal year 2014, they lost $17 million. This fiscal year, that projected number is down to $6 million. Lawmakers are still concerned with the hospital generating more money.
I think the only thing we need to worry about now is just the funding for the hospital to make sure that we're able to deal with some of the uncompensated care, able to deal with some of the capital issues.
We actually have different companies that we're working with that are addressing the charge capture, that are addressing denials, that are addressing how we convert to ICD-10, which is the mandatory coding procedures for the future. I mean, just a number of things we're working on. Just having the staff understand the importance of putting in the charges.
Senators suggested a number of ideas to help both the territory's hospitals, from a merger to physicians paying the hospital. One proposal calls for helping strengthen the retirement system. Senate Hospital Committee Chair Kurt Violet wants the hospital's contracted employees reclassified.
Having employees vested in a retirement system is a way of them taking ownership. You know, you can't have somebody working for you 15 years and they don't know how they're going to retire.
Lawmakers said the hospital's recertification is a step in the right direction and a pattern for their sister hospital on St. Croix to follow. Erica Parsons, News 2.
Senator Kenneth Gittens, chairman of the Senate Rules and Judiciary Committee, says the Senate is making headway on the confirmation process for the governor's nominees. The committee has heard testimony from 7 nominees so far and has given favorable recommendations for 6 of those nominees. According to Gittens, the 7th is being scrutinized under a technicality.
The one nomination which was held in committee was simply to perform more due diligence, since there was pertinent information that was initially left off of the questionnaire. All nominees are instructed to fully and correctly answer all questions on the questionnaire, and if this is not done, then it may affect the process of the confirmation.
The students and staff at Alexander Henderson Elementary School were dismissed early again Tuesday morning. Complaints of itching, rash, and redness prompted education officials to go on site and assess the situation before sending students home. Superintendent Colleen Williams said she would not comment until the assessments were complete, but the teachers' union president spoke to us.
We were all itching in that building. A lot of redness and rashes were erupting on the members' skin, as well as the students. And the Department of Education officials, they were here quickly. They came to assess the situation here. And I know that a company is here, has been here this morning, also conducting an assessment to make a determination as to what contingency plan the department will be taking. There's a lot of mold here in the roof. The roof holds a lot of water. It's a leaky roof that Henderson School has, and I'm just happy that my members are out of here and the students are out of here. We don't know what's going to happen tomorrow.
Count on 2 to keep you updated. Labor Commissioner designee Catherine Henry Esquire reminds all employers in the territory that Title 24 Virgin Islands Code defines an employer as an employing unit which for some portion of a day within the preceding or current calendar year has or had in employment 1 or more individuals. All wages paid with very few exemptions are subject to taxation as per the law. Now, all individuals that become employers are required to register with the Division of Unemployment Insurance and pay the appropriate quarterly taxes to ensure their employees against unemployment. She encourages everyone to visit the website at www.vidolviews.org. On St. Croix, charges were filed against 20-year-old James Cruz for carjacking. Cruz was one of two suspects who were identified as having approached a couple and ordering them out of their vehicle at gunpoint. Cruz and the other suspect, a minor, stole the couple's mobile phones and drove off with their vehicle. Police issued an APB and Cruz was arrested soon after. He appeared in court Monday morning. Cruz was charged with first-degree robbery and was unable to post the $75,000 bail. On St. Croix, the police department arrested one of their own. On Saturday, police officer Ashley Benton was immediately relieved of duty and later arrested and charged with simple assault and battery after an altercation with a St. Croix man. 911 received a call about the incident around 4 a.m. The incident involved an argument over the care of the victim's child, who is also Benton's child. The argument escalated when Benton punched the victim in the face. Police are still investigating the incident. Well, Monday evening around 6:40 p.m., the 911 emergency call center received notification of a fire in Estate Smithfield. Officers were dispatched and met members of the Virgin Islands Fire Service extinguishing two vehicles that were ablaze. Once the fire was extinguished, firemen saw smoke coming from the residence and proceeded to extinguish the second blaze. A concerned citizen came forward and gave the officers a description and name of the suspicious individual. The occupants of the residence were not present at the time. The structure, as well as the vehicles, sustained severe damage. The case is being investigated as arson. Anyone with information, you're asked to contact authorities at the following numbers. Interested in joining the fire department? Well, testing for the rank of entrance firefighter in the St. Croix district will be conducted May 11th to the 15th. However, the sign-up period will be from March 2nd through March 13th. You can pick up the study preparation manual from April 9th to 10th. They are available at the Personnel Division on St. Croix or on the website at www.dopusvi.org. You can also call 718-8588 for more information on the qualifications. For Dr. Lejla, music. It was witnessing incidences of brutal genocide in her native Bosnia. For Danny Tom, it was rushing out of a burning building during the 9/11 World Trade Center bombing. Both have lived through some of the world's most horrific acts of violence. At 9:30 a.m. on Friday, February 27th at UVI, Music and Tom will share their stories with the community and discuss solutions to conflict. Each will give a presentation during the day-long symposium entitled Stories and Conversations in the Administration and Conference Center, first floor of the conference room. The event is free and open to the public. Turning our attention overseas, Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell took a shot at trying to break the stalemate. Democrats blocked consideration of a bill funding the Department of Homeland Security for the fourth time Monday. The bill is tied to provisions that would repeal President Obama's executive actions, which temporarily shield millions of undocumented immigrants from deportation. But Democrats oppose the repeal. McConnell now plans to separate the issues and introduce a standalone bill this week that would block the president's orders on immigration. Funding for the department would be cut off at midnight Friday if Congress fails to act. Keeping our eye on the economy, U.S. consumer confidence was slightly lower in February after a big surge in January. Still, both months' readings are the highest since before the recession began back in December of 2007. Here's the New York Stock Exchange with our stock market watch. The Dow, Nasdaq, S&P all up. The Dow 92, Nasdaq 7, S&P 5. Coming up on News 2 and continuing our Black History Month recognition, tonight we take a look at a man who's known as the father of Black history. Do you know who? The waters of the Virgin Islands are home to a diverse range of marine life, and many of these species are endangered. One UVI master's student is taking the cause of protecting one species roaming under our seas under his wing. News 2's April Knight went out into the water with Scott Eanes and his research team to find out more.
Scott Eanes is a long way from his home in Oregon, but here in the Virgin Islands, he's found a cause that makes him feel right at home.
I really wanted to start a turtle project on St. Thomas.
Scott, a marine biology master's student at UVI, focused his research on endangered hawksbill sea turtles. His ultimate goal, protecting their number in VI waters.
Our federal government, about 25 years ago, 1993 I believe, put together a Caribbean hawksbill conservation plan. They stressed the importance of finding and protecting juvenile foraging habitats. So when we say foraging, it means they're here, they're eating, they're safe, they're growing up, and that's what we think we have here.
Turtle tagging is an important part of Scott's research, and the first step is finding them. This young team of scientists scour about a 2-kilometer patch of ocean right here in Brewers Bay, where they find a high density of endangered hawksbill sea turtles. Spotting the turtles is easy, but catching them is a different story. Scott and his team rely on their free diving skills and a lot of strategy.
Not quite hatchlings, not coming out of the nest, and they're not adults, they're in between. That's what we have here, and those turtles aren't from here more than likely. They hatched on other beaches in the tropics, but they come here and they grow up here.
Once they're caught, the turtles are tagged, measured, and weighed, and the data recorded. Genetic samples are taken and sent off island to be analyzed. Scott and his team have tagged some 28 individual sea turtles, and they keep finding more. Scott's named his mission the VI Sea Turtle Project.
Green sea turtles and hawksbill sea turtles, when you have them in the system, in the ecosystem, they make the ecosystem stronger.
Reporting for News 2, I'm April Knight.
All the sea turtles were returned to the wild and none were harmed in the research. You can find the VI Sea Turtle Project on Facebook. Well, here is an update from the Water and Power Authority. As reported last week, the authority began receiving the LPG storage tanks from the St. Croix Container Port for St. Thomas's facility. On February 16th and 17th, the 6 storage tanks were put in place at the St. Thomas facility, with the 4 remaining tanks expected to be shipped and in place by Saturday, February 28th. According to WAPA officials, the St. Croix Estate Richmond LPG facility's South Mound is days from being completely backfilled, and the North Mound has started receiving the sand and stone mixture. Also, a historic event on Wednesday planned a solar facility dedication ceremony will be held for the photovoltaic renewable power generation plant in Estate Duno behind Home Depot. That ceremony begins at 10 a.m. Virgin Islands Port Authority Executive Director Carlton Dow announced that the permit to dredge the East Gregory Channel in Crown Bay St. Thomas was approved by the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers yesterday. This completes the approval process for the permit. VIPA can now begin dredging the channel and the northern side of the Austin Monsanto Marine Terminal cruise ship pier to provide safer berthing conditions for large cruise vessels. The dredging will cost about $2.5 million. Dow said that he expects that project to start immediately and it should be completed within 4 to 5 months. The project is funded via bond finances secured by the Port Authority last year. And now for a moment in Black History as we continue our Black History Month celebration. Tonight we take a look at a man known as the father of Black history, Carter G. Woodson. He was the son of former slaves and understood how important gaining a proper education is when striving to secure and make the most out of one's divine right of freedom. Although he did not begin his formal education until he was 20 years old, his dedication to study enabled him to earn a high school diploma in West Virginia and bachelor and master's degree from the University of Chicago in just a few years. In 1912, Woodson became the second African American to earn a PhD at Harvard University. Recognizing the lack of information on the accomplishments of blacks in 1915, Dr. Woodson founded the Association for the Study of Negro Life and History, now called the Association for the Study of African American Life and History. Credit for the evolving awareness of the true place of blacks in history can, in large part, be bestowed on Mr. Carter G. Woodson. Be sure to stick around. Your News 2 AccuWeather forecast comes your way next.